Hello and welcome to the Bonehead Championship. I'm Ben from the Bonehead Podcast and welcome to the Round 5 Match 3 preview. This is the last game in the regular season for the Bonehead Championship. After this point, we take the top 4 teams and we go through the playoffs, and that is about this time of year. It's the appropriate time for playoffs, and both these teams that we're playing this weekend are going to go into it if they win the game. So we've got the Black Mountain Buccaneers, our Black Orc team. They're going to be taking on the Imperial Nobility team, the Marienburg Minotaurs. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the rosters, we're going to have a look at the matchup, we're going to have a look at the league standings going into this round, and then most importantly of all, we're going to have a look at the Viewer Championship where you guys guess what you think the score is going to be, and at the end of the season, points win prizes. So before we have a look at the teams, I thought we'd have a look at the table, the league table going into this round. So this is match 5-3. This is the last game of the season. None of the other games this round are reported on this screen because if you haven't seen them yet, you've got a chance to go back and check them out. But as it stands by this league sheet here, the Black Mountain Buccaneers are 1-2-1 and the Marienburg Minotaurs are 0-2-2. So the Minotaurs, our Nobility team, have lost one more game essentially, and the Black Orc team has won one more game. Now, at the moment, the top 4 teams are the Wood Elves, the Skaven team, the Black Orc team, and then Snotlings at 4th, with Marienburg Minotaurs 5. That will change. If the Marienburg Minotaurs win this game, they will go to 1-2-2, and the Black Mountain Buccaneers will drop to 1-2-2. Then we'll have a tiebreaker situation, and as per the NFL, the first tiebreaker when you've got 2 teams with the same record is head-to-head. So if the Marienburg Minotaurs beat the Black Mountain Buccaneers team here, they will jump up into 4th place, basically, tied with the Black Mountain Buccaneers, and they'll have the tiebreaker and they will be in. Now all the Bucks need to do is get a draw or a win here, and as you can see they're quite adept at drawing. So if the Black Mountain Buccaneers hold out, they will stay in 3rd or 4th place. They'll stay in 3rd place and they'll go through and take on the Skaven team as it stands at the moment. If they lose, they'll drop out of contention. The Marienburg Minotaurs will jump into 4th place and they will go through to the final. So actually we've got a close game with a lot of meaning to it. So the first team we're going to look at is the Black Mountain Buccaneers, our Black Orc team. So this is a chunky boy of a team. We've got Gronk, our trained troll. Now the trained troll is sitting there at 4 SPP, has really struggled to level up, but I think this is a really good demonstration of why I always recommend taking something like Brawler at 6 SPP rather than waiting all the way till 12. This is game 5 and we still haven't been able to level up our troll. We could have taken a random strength, but there's too much in there that wouldn't have been brilliant. Anyway, so we've got Gronk the Trained Troll. We've got 6 Black Orcs, Grummagan Zoo, Breezeblock, Grect Cruel, Aslog, Skull Smasher, and Zologs and Leg Ripper. Breezeblock and Aslog both running Mighty Blow now. Aslog, I think, leveled up after the last game. That's a big, helpful piece of removal. So the Nobility team here has got a few armor 9 pieces, but they're standard muggles. Their linemen are armor 8+. So that means that if either Aslog or Breezeblock get a successful hit on one of those linemen, there's a 56% chance of soft removal. They're going to be stunned at least. So 2 Mighty Blow pieces could be really great, because Gronk also has Mighty Blow. So actually this team's got 3 Mighty Blow pieces. Leg Ripper is kind of the blitzer of this team. He's got block, which means he's going to be the one doing the primary strength blitzing. That means 6 strength 4 or 5 dudes plus a strength 4 block piece who's also got grab and brawler, so that actually if he's on the line, if he's in a scrum, he can use that strength, use that block skill, but also use that grab to make the positioning just bang on. We've got 5 goblins. We've got a new goblin joining the pack today. We've got Small Saw Snapper, who is there with -1 passing, so 5+ passing, so don't expect to see great things from him. Tyrone Trollkisser there, rocking tackle on a random double, which is pretty cool. The downside is the Nobility team's got 1 player with dodge, and that player also has block, so and strength 3. So I can't see Tyrone doing a huge amount of work there using that tackle skill. Barflog the Braves and Grot Brady, no skills there, but Grot Brady down here sitting at 10 SPP. Best case scenario here, he gets a touchdown, he gets a casualty or the MVP, and the Black Mountain team goes through, and then Grot Brady can fulfill his destiny, take sure hands, and be the ball carrier that this Black Mountain Buccaneers team, that he has been destined to be this entire time. Now there's one more player, and it's Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne has joined the Goblin Bruiser crew for the Black Mountain Buccaneers. He's there as number 1. He's actually number 13 on this roster, and he is a rookie. So this team comes in at 1190, 3 rerolls, 5 dedicated fans, and an apothecary. This team has got strength galore. We've got some mighty blow pieces. We should see it's pretty reliable to get some removal. Not a huge amount of speed, so that could be the vulnerability here. I really like the way this team is shaping up. Anyway, let's have a look at who they're playing against. And then we go to the Marienburg Minotaurs, our nobility team. Again, I love this team, but this one has managed to achieve no wins this season. So 0-2 and 2 draws and 2 losses. But we have been able to soup it up a little bit here. So this team started out with the Ogre build as voted by our patrons. So we had Boney the Ogre right from the offset. He has now leveled up and he's got guard. So we've got 1 guard piece, which could be really, really important when you're playing against a front of strength 4 dudes. That's going to level the playing field a little bit, so we should be able to use that guard from Boney the Ogre to give our players with combat skills a bit of an advantage. Jules Rimet and Royce the Pomp, our 2 blitzers, are there to do the stuff, and Royce the Pomp is double leveled now. Blodge, tackle. Now, tackle has been really useful in this league. Dodge is also really useful, okay, it'll keep him alive, but block and tackle, Royce the Pomp here is going to be hunting goblins. Okay, be very, very quiet. I'm hunting goblins is basically what Royce is going to be saying. Still got 3 SPP as well. I can't even remember how many SPP it is for the next skill up. I think it's probably 12, maybe 10. So he's probably a fair old whack away from getting that. Now, Podrick Payne, one of our 3 bodyguards on this team, has also got guard. So this front line, we're going to be seeing Boney the Ogre, we're going to be seeing Podrick Payne there, using that guard to give +1 strength to those friends around him. That's going to help keep that line. That's basically going to give us a couple of strength 4 linemen. Now, when you're playing against Black Orcs, they've got the advantage with Brawler, they've got the advantage with just plain being strength 4. But we've got a bit of fend on the go with our muggles, and actually that guard's going to help potentially keep them alive. What it does mean is that we should be able to use that guard to give the extra bit of strength when it's needed to take out a Black Orc. What else have we got going on? I've got 2 other bodyguards, so 3 in total. One of them, Angus von Muller, is back in the game, but does have a niggling injury, so a bit of a vulnerability there. 3 bodyguards with wrestle, 2 blitzers with block, and an ogre walking to a bar. So 6 combat pieces on this team against the 7 combat pieces who are higher strength on the Black Orc team. Going to be punching up a little bit here, the Marienburg Minotaurs. And we've got Maximilian Fancy, Hans von Solen, and Frank Farmer, our lineman. There is one more lineman in the crew as well who joined last game, I believe, which is Tyrol Lederhosen. Max does have 4 SPP, Hans von Solen does have 2. So there's a little bit of potential there if this team goes through that we may be able to get a couple of leveled up linemen. Frank Farmer, niggling injury, so he's going to be on the bench until one of the other dudes dies. Ivan Volokov and Fitzmagic, our Imperial Nobility throwers, unfortunately not been able to do much of anything, and sitting at 2 SPP and Fitzmagic at 0 SPP, not achieved what we were hoping for for out of those 2 throwers. The team wraps up with 2 rerolls, 1 dedicated fan, not been able to naturally increase that. 12-20, so there's 30k between the teams, which means there's nothing there for inducements. Both these rosters sitting at 12 players with a big guy and some combat pieces. Okay, so we've looked at the teams. Now let's talk coaches. I'm going to be running the Nobility team, and Trips, Ian Triple Power Triplo, is going to be joining us again to run the Black Orcs again for the 2nd time in the row. Now, Ian lost the last game with Black Orcs, but it was very close, and there was at least 4 miss next game players as a result. So Ian very much knows how to run these Black Orcs, and one of his concerns last time is he didn't have enough goblins. Where the Bucks have now picked up that 5th goblin option, Trips has got that opportunity to flex the roster around to play faster when he needs to. So that is actually a really good boost. Now, I'm going to be running the Nobility team. And when we're looking at this matchup, this is a great matchup. And I'll have to tell off the person who scheduled these matches, which is me, because we've left the starter box game right to the end. However, we did that because we thought that these teams might end up kind of middle of the league and they might need to win this game to get into the league. So actually, that's exactly where we are. Both of these teams do not want to lose this. It is a lose and leave situation. Black Orcs have got the strength. They've got 3 Mighty Blow pieces and 7 players with strength 4 or 5. And the Nobility team, we're going to have to use positioning and we're going to have to sell linemen up the way, which I know is kind of my deal. Now, one thing we can factor in, we've got some stand firm, we've got some fend for the Nobility team. That will give that team the ability to disengage, and if you disengage from Black Orcs, they can struggle to stay in the fight. Now, this is why Trips was so excited about potentially getting more goblins on the roster, is because movement 6 dodge stunty is a lot different than movement 4 nothing at all. So if Trips drops the troll, which I don't think he will, I think what's likely to happen is Trips might deploy 5 Black Orcs, 5 goblins and a troll when it comes to a bit of offense to keep that speed up. If he does that, that definitely gives the Nobility the opportunity to muscle up on those small dudes. We've got a blodge tackler. That's going to be huge. If we can take out a few goblins, actually, regardless of how much death the Nobility team takes, we should have enough speed and strength over the remainder to win out. Now, I think this one is going to be really down to who receives the kick, who gets the opening blows. If the Black Orc team gets the opportunity to receive, I can see Trips choosing to receive again like he did against the Wood Elves and just going ham to try and force those 7 strength 4 or 5 pieces through and out the other side of the Nobility team's players. And the Nobility are going to have to disengage, use those linemen and the stand firm wrestle pieces to pen in the Black Orc team and just take the rest of the team and take it one-on-one with the goblins. It's going to be interesting, and we do have Boney the Ogre on our side with guard. So fair enough, we've got that troll situation, but actually with a bit of friendship from the bodyguard with guard, that Boney the Ogre could be using Mighty Blow to win that situation as well. This is going to be a classic Blood Bowl Season 2 brawl. I'm glad these teams have got some skill ups. I'm glad there's not as many skill ups as there was in the Wood Elf and Skaven game, because it looked pretty, but dude, linemen with that many skills, not used to it. My linemen die, and I think that is probably the other thing I will say in this game. My linemen are undoubtedly going to die. So if that's on 888 or Ladbrokes, I put a bet in on that one because I play every team like Skaven. Now, Nobility, I've got some experience. I did pretty well with them in our league. Bend, those catches are sweet. Let's see if we can't do some magic. But the most important part of this video is the Viewer Championship. So before every game, we put up a match preview, which gives you the breakdown of the teams and everything. That's what we're doing right here. Then you get to guess what the game is going to be like. Who's going to win, what the score is going to be. You can win 3 points every game. 1 for guessing the correct outcome and 1 point for guessing each score right for the team. So if you say Team A is going to score 2 touchdowns, Team B is going to score 1 touchdown. And actually what ends up happening is Team A scores 2 touchdowns, but Team B scores 0. You get the point for the correct one and you get the point for guessing the right outcome as well. If you think it's going to be a 2-all draw and it's a 2-all draw, all 3 points. So you can win up to 3 points. Now, we've been keeping track of these scores throughout the season, and this is now about to be game 15, and we've had about 150 to 200 guesses. So we are well on the way to 2,500-3,000 guesses from you guys, and it has been absolutely awesome. This is the last regular season game. Then it goes to playoffs, and then the whole points win prizes bit comes into play. Let's have a look at the leaderboard as it stands right now. Okay, so sitting at first place, Sam O'Dwyer and 1,000 Hats tied at 18 points. Catching up ever so slightly in second place, we've got John Naylor and Papa Z at 17. Just behind them in third place, we've got David Warner, Blood Bowl Commissioner, Matt Risby, Olabayu, Black Flag and Marco Niosi. That's just 2 points away from the leaderboard, and 3 points per round keeps this really, really close. And as close as it is in 4th place, we've got Brad McClurg, Vaughan K, Liminality, 80k Monkey, Blunt Brush, Jesper Axelson, Joaquin Solis, Gecko 8, Zephyr Baby, hi Zeph, Lucas Muller, all at 15 points, so 3 points off the lead, and we've got 4 games with a maximum of 12 points left to go. Everybody is massively in the running for it here. 5th place, we've got Matt Livingstone, Carl Messenger, Durka Willie, Ernest Cummings, Trevor Craig, Orkster, Richard Stone, Mr. Rip Give It Dish Dash, Michael Ball, Clive the Kiwi, Waller, Wolfgang Heisel, and Nicholas Fitzgerald, all in there at 14 points. There is a ton of players also in here at 13 points. And then there's even more. So basically, with 12 points left to go between these 3 games, anybody here can be in the running. So very exciting. If you want to see the full leaderboard, loiter at the end of the video and we'll have the full Star Wars scroll for the scores. Okay, we've talked the teams, we've talked the league standings, we've talked the matchup and the coaches and the viewer championship. This is the last game of the regular season. This is going to determine our top 4. We're doing top seed versus bottom seed, so 1v4, 2v3 as we go into the semi-finals, and then it will be the surviving 2 teams taking each other on for the Bonehead Championship. I am so excited. This is my favourite part of Blood Bowl, is the interplay between the teams to get that league bit, to finally figure out who's winning. And this is the point at which now these teams are unique. We've built these franchises as a collective of coaches making great and terrible decisions to get them there. Each one of these teams has got a story, and this game now will determine whose story carries on into the finals. And I'm so jazzed that I get to play against Trips in this one, because he loves and plays both these teams very well, and I cannot wait for the challenge, the 15th and final game of the standard season. If you're out, you're out. If you're in, you're in. This is a great game. I'm so excited, and I've got to wait a few days to play it, but man, we're going to have a lot of fun. Anyway, guys, get your scores in, get your guesses in now. This is the big one. Black Mountain Buccaneers, Marienburg Minotaurs. Which of these teams are we going to see in the final, and what's the score going to be? Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content, including this game. Ooh, happy guessing. Very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to help support the channel even further, please like and subscribe, or come join us on our Patreon. We have early access to content, we get loads of feedback from you guys, and we try and do competitions as much as we can. Or you can get yourself some Bonehead Podcast merch on our Spreadshirt site. So if you want to support a team, especially for the Bonehead Championship, you can pick up a shirt, a mug, things like that. It all helps support the channel, and we really appreciate it. Anyway, links below. Thank you very much. Happy blocking.